All right, everybody, thanks for your time. Don't want to take too much time, but hopefully this is just some information. I'm head of department for marine engineering at the Nelson Mandela University, and we are offering a Bachelor of Engineering Technology in Marine Engineering. And just listening to what we've been discussing and all the type approvals and all that, our objective is being to provide the academic skills, the foundation academic skills that we can support the maritime industry. And just to make sure that we have graduates coming out that your industry can then mentor and grow into engineers developing the products that you're talking about. So just to move forward then, coming out of the Operation Pikisa, which we all know about, this our university decided to develop this program and this degree to support both in most of this Operation Pikisa objectives. So the maritime transport and manufacturing, all component manufacturing, as well as operations, design, oil and gas environment, aquaculture environment, all of these require engineering. They all require engineering in a water environment floating on or under the sea. And so this qualification has been developed to provide the academic skills for those. Obviously, South Africa has a significant access to the various oceans around it, as well as on the right-hand side, you can see just a snapshot of the annual ships that go past our coastline that we need to make use of and harness the economic benefit from that. So Nelson Mandela University down in Port Elizabeth, now Gqeberha, has 2 ports, and the university is situated quite close to them. And so the university has taken a big focus on developing its maritime and maritime related qualifications. So it's not only engineering, we've developed a maritime campus and looking at maritime business management, maritime logistics, as well as our qualification, which is engineering. Right, so on the left-hand side there, you see we have now the Department of Marine Engineering, and we have a Bachelor of Engineering Technology in Marine Engineering, and it's part of the School of Engineering, and it's complementary with the degree in Mechanical Engineering. So we have the BEng Tech Marine, and then it feeds into the honors for Mechanical Engineering, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in a few slides' time. So our history in engineering at the university, we have electrical, industrial, we've got mechatronics, we've got civil, and a very strong mechanical department. And so our department has just fed into the mechanical and using and combined with a number of the mechanical qualifications. Right, again, so marine engineering, it's the BEng Tech in Marine Engineering has 2, I suppose, let's put it, legs, and it's to feed into either a seafarer, in other words, someone which goes on and works on the ships and operates the ships, and up to what we call chief engineer, or a land-based environment as an engineering technologist, which is the EXA Engineering Council of South Africa accredited. And we're looking at developing eventually into a naval architecture speciality. We're looking at a good, our qualification looks at a focus on automation and maritime automation, as well as marine engineering. We then, just to confirm again, as I mentioned earlier, that this is EXA accredited as a professional engineering technologist under the Sydney Accord, so it is internationally accredited through the Engineering Council of South Africa, as well as we are currently SAMSA accredited, And for those of you who know that industry, going all the way through, so we've got the academic content for the graduates, and then they're going to become a cadet, and then they can go through their various oral exams, eventually up to the level of chief engineer. All right, so just to clarify then, employment opportunities, anything in the maritime and marine industry. We're looking at the Navy, the Merchant Navy, we've got oil and gas, we've got ship and boat building. They were mentioning earlier about yacht builders and yachts, and the yacht industry, leisure industry in South Africa that is significant, as well as the land-based energy sector and factories. And obviously the value chain within that environment. So just quickly, I just want an overview of it so that you, as the industry, know what we're kind of dealing with. And just confirming, I can't see hands, so just interrupt me if I need to answer a question or something. All right, so we've got a 3-year program, just looking at the year 1 at the bottom and year 3 at the top, with a high focus in naval architecture, marine engineering knowledge, as well as in the design environment. Then so a student can graduate at after 3 years, or they can elect to carry on further to do a 4th-year honors. And currently we're doing a 4th-year honors in mechanical engineering, but with marine engineering modules. And one of the modules then is marine craft design, performance, and seakeeping. And then in the 2nd semester, they go on to do a research project with a marine focus, as well as a design project with marine focus. So I don't want to go on too much, but if there are later questions in what content and what we do cover in these modules, these are just a list of the actual outline of the various subjects. But again, to highlight, we focus on naval architecture, we focus on marine engineering knowledge. There is the marine law, which obviously this webinar has talked a lot into, as well as marine electrical, as well as automation engineering. Then just for information purposes, we've got mechanical engineering. Half of the subjects are our general mechanical engineering subjects that the mechanical engineers also then take, which is then mathematics. We've got physics 1 and 2, general engineering and mechanical design, thermodynamics, statics and dynamics, strength of materials, as well as fluid mechanics. So just moving on then, so where we focus on, we've got some research that we are currently doing, and we've kind of focusing on hull optimization for the Southern Oceans conditions at the moment. And we've also got a marine robotics center that we are looking at, and that they are doing research in autonomous robotic vessels that are going out to sea and taking various measurements. Just looking at our staff, just so that we put you in the picture for that, we've got Mr. Boswell Das, who we sent to the University of Southampton, and he got his MSc in Naval Architecture in 2017, and is currently doing his PhD in Naval Architecture, looking at safety assessment of fishing trawler operations in the Southern Oceans and ship motion triggered by hauled fishing gear. So he's quite advanced in his research there. We've got Mr. John Fernandez, who's our electrical and automation specialist. At the moment, we've got a vacant position. We've got our chief engineer, Sergio Giannotti, has resigned and moved on to the actual shipbuilding industry, and he's working in Germany at the moment. He's currently lecturing part-time for us, but we are looking at replacing that and have had some interviews for that. And then that's myself there. I've just finished my PhD in shipbuilding management, and just looking at how we can develop the economy and the shipbuilding and manufacturing economy in South Africa. So our premises then, we've got a marine engineering and maritime focused lab area where we've got about 250 square meters of lab space, and we're developing it still. This is not entirely complete, but we are in the process of completing it. We've got some state-of-the-art simulation and audiovisual equipment where we can work together with Finland and Netherlands and Wärtsilä Maritime Trading Academy that we do training with. That's just a quick shot of our equipment that we have at the moment, or our demonstration equipment. We've got a 8L20 on the left and a 6L26 on the right hand side then, as you can see. So those are just what we're using with the students to demonstrate, as well as some shafts, some stern tubes, and you can see we've even got some blades there. Again, so last year during the height of the COVID environment, we were setting up our simulation lab, and we've got the Wärtsilä sponsored Transa software simulation lab that we are incorporating into our engineering program. Again, we do value our collaboration with international universities as well. So we've got a really good relationship with Finland, Solent in Southampton as well, and we work together with DUT and CPUT down here in South Africa. So that was just a quick overview and introduction to the qualification. The point of this, as discussed with Nicolene, is that we are needing industry to send and to identify students to be able to send to the university so that they can get trained in the industry and then the academics that you need, and then we can support you. So this is very important. I keep getting asked, do I have students? Well, yes, I've got one or two that have graduated, but they have now stayed on and they are studying further to do their masters. But what we are looking for is passionate school leavers that are passionate about the maritime industry, about yacht building, about boat building, shipbuilding, or going and working on super yachts, etc., etc. And they are the students that really would benefit from coming to study this. So it's important industry keeps looking for experts, but at the moment, unfortunately, because we have not been training in the last few years, we are now trying to catch up on developing our academic skills, and that's what we're doing. So everybody, thanks very much. That was my presentation. If there are any questions, otherwise, Nicolene, over to you.
Thanks, Howard. We look forward to see your influx of students into industry. Is there any questions for Howard? See in the chat. There's a few students. I'm just scrolling up to see where does it start. A few questions.
Okay, I've got Andrew's question there. Is that correct? The last.
Go ahead. I'm still reading the top one, so go ahead.
So that naval architect requires certification. Please, could you confirm how the university has arranged to have its graduates accredited to sign naval design? Okay, so firstly, this is a marine engineering technologist, and they have a foundation and a very strong foundation in naval architecture, but they are not a qualified naval architect. And currently, one, I don't have enough staff, and two, economically, there's not enough students who want to study naval architecture. But what we have done is we have developed a 5-year, so we talked about the 3-year program. So they're a technologist at this point, and we developed a 4th and a 5th year taught master's program that is on the shelf, so to speak. We don't have staff, nor do we have students who want to take it at the moment. At that point, they will then be a qualified naval architect. So these aren't graduates, they're technologists, or these graduates are technologists, not naval architects as per the RENA requirements. But they will certainly be able to support your drawing officers and do very good calculations, etc., etc. But as far as signing off on naval designs, that will have to be, that's what we aim to support in the future. I trust that answers that question.
Thanks, Howard. The question just above that, of more comment from Peter Jacobs, says that the South African boat builders, they need help for South African boat builders to participate in the development for ISO 122.5-7. Scontlings and multi-hulls. The French industry is investigating a slot in the standard while South Africa is far behind. South Africa being the second largest multi-hull builder, we need to stay up to date. So he's just saying that is a nice project for a group of students. And if you want to get in contact with Peter to discuss, we can clearly hook you guys up.
That'll be great. Thank you, Peter. I need to, again, that's the whole point of these type of industry connection opportunities, is that it's quite difficult. I'm a team of one at the moment that's trying to do marketing for this, but we need to support industry. We need to catch up, and especially we need to support our multi-hull and our yacht building industry in this. If France is far ahead of us, we need to catch up. You're correct. Okay, I see Gerard has, how does this course align or differ from the marine engineering degree at CPUT? Okay, so they actually are similar and very different. Firstly, if I can just go back to the course outline. The marine engineering, our marine engineering qualification is EXA accredited. In other words, it has at the professional engineering technologist level, and equivalent to an incorporated engineer overseas or in the UK. And it has 420 credits, and it's a 3-year program. If you compare CPUT, CPUT is not engineering or EXA accredited, and they are a 360 credit qualification, as well as they are for operations. In other words, they are to go out, they're SAMHSA accredited so that they can go out to sea and operate and maintain the ships. So our qualification is also accredited by SAMHSA, so our graduates can also go out to sea and work on ships, but we also have a slightly higher or a more applied engineering cognitive approach where they can go into more of a design environment. I trust that makes sense.
Thanks, Howard. And then the last comment from Pomozzo is that they will be able to help get out of school learners to get in touch with you. On that note,
thanks very much. I appreciate that. That's the whole point, is to get students enthusiastic about marine engineering and into design environments.
Okay, excellent.